going to show you how to first add a customer to PointCentral here. This is on the Partner Portal. The back end is what I call it. And this is what it first looks like when you first log in. From this page, you can search current customers. Currently, we have it set up so that first name is Creekwood Vacations and last name is the property name that we refer it to. You can also do it by address. So, for instance, we can type in Ginger here, and it will generate here at the bottom, and then it has a quick detail, and you can jump in, but that'll be another video. This video is just going to be creating a new customer, which is super simple. Very easy process. Here's the first three options. We can first create a customer. Obviously, as the description says, this option would be selected when you are creating a customer and adding the tech all in one day. Same day. Otherwise, you would create a commitment. If you're already in here and you know you're gonna onboard a property or onboard yourself, but you don't quite have the tech yet and you can get in here, you would create a commitment, and it would just do the first step of the process, which is getting all the information and then all the tech that's going to be in the property. And then later you would have the options to activate that commitment over here, and this is what you would click on if you created a commitment previously, which is what we're going to do today because I don't actually have a property to onboard. So we're going to create a test commitment, and I'm going to show you how to do that. If we are doing a security system, you'll pick security system. Otherwise, it'll just be PointCentral. At this time, we don't have any video options, so we'll never have standalone. So we'll click Next here at PointCentral. Select the property type. This one will be an apartment, professional or self-install. It doesn't really matter. I always select self-install. First name, I'm just going to put in my information. Actually, customer. If it's a Creekwood customer, you're going to put in Creekwood Vacations. Always put the property name as the last name. So we'll do, just so I know, this is the commitment later down the road. Email, I suggest making a no reply or an email that doesn't exist, because these are not the notification emails that you're going to want to receive. And then I always take off that. I always make it the property name. So system description would be test leisure. English, I always suggest one. They'll always come up with one for me, but and then you put in the property address. Next. Make sure the installation address is the address you're putting in there. That's all that was. All this is optional. The only thing you have to do on this page is disable video clip recordings, because it is an extra cost and it is not something that we can provide at this time. Video, that is. But again, none of the rest of this matters. You don't have to click anything. It doesn't change anything. They are optional settings. Expected install date. This is, again, because this commitment will expire after 60 days if the tech was not installed. This is just an estimate. It's not life or death if you miss it. And I always start out with doing the alarm.com hub dual path. This will need to be changed and will be in a future video if you end up not connecting it to your router. That'll change a setting and it'll make your communication settings a little off, but I will definitely point that out in a further video and explain that more in depth. Expected network, if you know which one you're going to choose, which hub you're going to choose, that is, you can put it here. Again, you can change this later. We'll validate. Apply panel template, no. Apply default notifications, yes. Those don't need to be changed. Click next. Oops. What is this asking? Oh. I understand that there will be wireless, yes. That is because I didn't select an expected network. If I select one of those, it'll check the cell service that the hubs run off of in the address that I put. And then on this page, it's just asking about service packages, and this will depend on what type of tech, which tech you order from us, or that's being installed in the property. Images, again, that would be that video monitoring, so we won't. Video is not selected. Ensure that. The big three are going to be thermostats and locks. There. If you have those two and that's it, you can click next. If you don't have a thermostat or your property isn't compatible, which isn't really a possibility, or you just didn't want the thermostats, or you're already using Nest, whatever it may be, and you're only doing locks and hubs, you can go up here and select locks and make sure you're not getting charged for that thermostat integration. If you do anything above locks, you'll do Point Connect Plus, and then everything that is 0 obviously is included. And then everything that's not included does have the price next to it, as you can see. And then your price would be adjusted down here, new total price. I'll hit next. And then it's going to ask me if I want to add it to a group. Always choose an existing group. If you are going to create a new group, you can do it from here. I find it easier to do it on the front side of PointCentral. Here, I can show you. It is manage groups, add an enterprise group. It is much easier to add one here and save it, and then you can put it under Creekwood Vacations. And then it would just show up here, so this one will be Illinois. Oops, I have to select it. Let's try. You just have to get the state name. It typically pops up with a drop down that'll show you which ones you can choose from, but it's not doing it this time. So I will do Missouri because that's where this property is, and continue. And again, this will only get, oops, it didn't find it. I'm going to go ahead and skip. Again, it should show up when you start typing it. And then it's going to review. And the last step, I'm going to create this commitment. Success. That's all you're looking for, and that's how you create a commitment. And then if we were going to activate that commitment, or we were creating a customer, this is the first half of creating a customer, and activating is the second half. So if I wanted to activate that commitment, which I will not be able to get very far into because I do not have a hub, commitment. Test leisure, let's see if it finds it. Commitment not found. It might take a while to show up in today's commitments because I just made it. I could also do it by postal code. There it is, test leisure, and I get that drop-down menu, and it shows me the account ID number as well. And then once I get my hub, this is why you need the tech handy, and in front of you, you would put the 15-digit serial number that's on the back of the hub or on the sticker of the box of the hub, and then you would click validate. Always click IQ Hub. We're not using a panel. That is for a different system. I'm installing. It shows a very zoomed in picture of an example, and then I would verify that all my stuff is correct, and then I'd click Create Customer, and that would be the last step actually to create that customer. And then from there, I could go into, let me find, then it would show up as then it would take me to this page. I would jump into Remote Toolkit. And then I would click Add Device. If I was doing it from a desktop, it does look very similar on the Mobile Tech app. It looks very similar. You would click Add Device, click on Z-Wave because these are all Z-Wave devices, and then you would select Start Z-Wave Add Mode. You would hear the beep, like my hub will probably do here. You'll hear it. And then you would put in the activation code, put it in activation mode, which will be in another onboarding video. But for locks, it is make sure the door is locked, hit the gear key, type in your master code that you put in when you first installed the lock, and then hit gear again, and then hit 7, and then hit gear again, and then hit 1, and hit gear one last time. And then that will put it in activation mode. You'll see checking for new devices will turn into device found. And then for thermostats, if you have the T2000, you would just make sure that the system is off, and then hold down the down button, and then you would see a little Wi-Fi after about 3 to 5 seconds, a little Wi-Fi symbol, and you would see the same thing here. It'd say thermostat ID, and then you would click Run Rediscovery, and that Run Rediscovery button just takes the settings from that enterprise group and applies it to whatever group you set in the commitment settings. And then you would click Done, and you would be all onboarded, and it would look like, and then from the front end, you would be able to see it like this. Oops. That's not a good one. That's not a good one either. Let's click on this one. It would look like this, and you would be able to see activity and front door. That one's not a good. Why aren't they working? There we go. You would see one that has the recent activity. You'd see the front door status. And then if you had one that had multiple doors, like I know this one does, you would see all the statuses of the lock, and then the thermostat over here, all the stuff you could do. It is currently in auto mode. It shows me the current inside temperature and then what mode it's set to. I can also see a little battery status bar and change some settings like the device name. But again, another front end PointCentral video will be coming after this. And that is that, and that's how you create a customer. Thanks for watching.